bringing us together on another mighty Sabbath, right? Today, through the Spirit, right, a lot of information is going to come out. The main topic is diverse laws, right? We're going to go into the laws in the scriptures, and you have a lot, right? As we always say, Jake you know a lot of weird laws of the land, right? You know you can't do this in Michigan, you know you can't do this in Baltimore. You know a million laws of the land. You study their law. You go to school to study it, right? To be lawyers, right? To get your Juris Doctorate, as they'll call it. Right? But you got to be a doctor in the law, right? You have to be proficient in understanding what the Lord say you can and can't do. Because these laws actually save your life. Right. Esau tell you maybe like 1 or 2 laws that can help you out, right? All right? They say don't jaywalk. You know, you can't do this in the third. You can't have a little air freshener over your little rearview mirror. They have folly laws. How's that everybody? In any case, you know, we're gonna go through the scriptures. We're gonna go through Genesis down to, you know, all the way to Deuteronomy, even further, right? Because the laws are all throughout the scriptures. But we will be going into diverse laws, here a little and there a little. You know, it's diverse for a reason. You know, we have 613 commandments, and that's a lot. It's not a few. All right? So we're going to dive into it if any brothers have any.
Give me the book of Exodus, chapter 20, and verse 15.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, and verse 15. Right. Exodus 20 and 15. Thou shalt not steal.
What the scripture say?
Thou shalt not steal.
Hey, thou shalt not steal, man. You can't be a thief in Israel. You got a lot of thieves in Israel. They'll literally steal from you and try to help you find it. All the while it's in their back pocket, man. Right? And we grew up with jakes like that. They kind of stealing your clothes, right? And my cousin stole my shoes, man, in the world, man. He kind of stole my shoes, sold them for a damn, it was a PS5 or something, PS4. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them, right? So that's off, man. Right? But you can't damn steal, man. Bring it out again, King.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, and verse 15.
There you go.
Thou shalt not steal.
What the scripture say?
Thou shalt not steal.
Hey, thou shalt not steal, man. That's plain upon tables. Do not steal, right? That's against the laws of the Lord, right? You got it. That's it on that.
Okay, I wanted to land me back. Go to, let's get the book of Leviticus, right? Dive a little more into that. Get Leviticus, right, chapter 6. Chapter 6, and start at verse number 1.
It's the book of Leviticus.
Because it's different statutes and levels to stealing. Right, but bring that up.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 6, and verse 1.
Right?
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, if a soul sin and commit a trespass against the Lord, and lie to his neighbor in that which was delivered him to keep, or in fellowship, or in a thing taken away by violence, or have deceived his neighbor,
Right.
or have found that which was lost and lieth concerning it, and swear falsely, in any of all these that a man doeth sinning therein,
right,
that it shall be because he has sinned and is guilty, and he shall restore that which he took violently away, or the thing which he have deceitfully gotten, or that which was delivered him to keep, or the lost thing which he found, or all that about which he have sworn falsely.
So when you would take something or somebody delivers something unto you, you can lie about that. Like say I'm giving a brother like, here, hold this shirt for me. I'm going out of town. You kind of come back and the shirt gone. You're like, hold up, bro. Like what happened to my shirt? You kind of say, I don't know what happened. It got stolen. And you have to swear before the Most High that that's the real case. But if you got caught lying, then you have to restore that thing back. Right? But get real quick going into that Exodus chapter 20.
And real quick, a quick point, because that's usually what happened. You would steal something and then damn lie about it, man. Right? Kind of say, hey, somebody stole it, man. Somebody stole it from me. Right?
Exactly. That's
it got misplaced. No, you stole it, man. You might have sold it, you know what I'm saying? You might have traded it for something. Right? These are things that Jake actually do, man. You got it, King.
You get Exodus 22 and 7.
The book of Exodus, chapter 22, and verse 7.
Right?
If a man shall deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to keep, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double.
Right? Let him pay double if you find the thief. Right? Keep reading.
If the thief be not found,
right?
then the master of the house shall be brought into the judges to see whether he have put his hand into his neighbor's goods.
You see that? So now you get brought before the judges to see. Because hold on, if we didn't find a thief, how we know you didn't do something with it? How we know you didn't take what he gave you and split it behind his back? Right, keep reading.
It says, for all manner of trespass, whether it be for ox, for ass, for sheep, for raiment, or for any manner of lost thing, which another challengeth to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges, and whom the judges shall condemn, he shall pay double unto his neighbor.
Right. Whichever one gets condemned, they have to pay double to the neighbor, right? Keep reading.
If a man deliver unto his neighbors an ass, or an ox, or a sheep, or any beast to keep, and it die, or be hurt, or driven away, no man seeing it,
right?
Then shall the oath of the Lord be between them both, that he have not put his hand into his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it shall accept thereof, and he shall not make it good.
You see that? And that's why when we brought that out in Leviticus 6, it said if you swear falsely, right? Because they'll make an oath and say, you know, before the judges, they'll put it on the Most High. So if you ain't being caught, now you got to pay back. You got to restore back, add a 20%, and you got to give a ram for a trespass offering. Right, so it's different statutes going into thou shalt not steal. It's different levels to it. Because if somebody get caught stealing, breaking in your house, and it's dark, you can actually put them to death. Right, so it's different statutes to actually stealing. So real quick, go to Leviticus 19 and 11.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, and verse 11 reads, Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another.
And that's plain. Can you bring out Acts 5 and 1 as an example?
The book of Acts.
Because, I mean, remember at the end of the day, the Lord can do whatever he wants. He tells us that in Matthew 20 and 15. Is it unlawful that I do without what with my own? You go to Acts 5 and 1.
The book of Acts chapter 5 verse 1. But a certain man named Ananias, with Sapphira his wife, sold a possession, part of the price. His wife also being privy to it, and brought a certain part, and laid it at the apostles' feet.
Right, so technically they stole, right? They're stealing from the church. Right, that money's supposed to go to the church and they're holding the back price. Go ahead.
But Peter said, Ananias, why have Satan filled thy heart to lie to the Holy Ghost?
To lie to the Holy Ghost. So they stole and lied. Go ahead.
And to keep back part of the price of the land. Whilst it remained, was it not thy own? And after it was sold, was it not in thy own power? Why hast thou conceived this thing in thy heart, that thou hast not lied unto men, but unto God?
Right, because in certain occasions, you may think you lying to man, but you're really lying to the Heavenly Father. You continue.
And Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and gave up the ghost.
But the Lord didn't say thou shalt die if you lie. I mean, that's not really in the law. But you got to remember at the end of the day, the Lord can do whatever he wants to you. So, you know, what you may think is little, hey, that can be very big in the eyes of the Lord. So if you, it's just a little white lie. That's what they tell us in school. Just a little white lie. And they say white for a reason, you know. Because when you think of the white man, he tells us little white lies and it's okay. It's okay. No, yeah, the Most High can actually kill you for lying if he wants to. I mean, the Most High is going to have mercy on whom he will have mercy. You don't have to have mercy upon you as he did with the next brother. So that's why we have to be wise in how we move and you know, pretty much move in this world. All right?
Precept. Get 1 Kings chapter 21 and verse 1.
Okay. Book of 1 Kings, chapter 21 and verse 1.
All right.
Reads, And it came to pass after these things that Naboth the Jezreelite had a vineyard which was in Jezreel, hard by the palace of Ahab, king of Samaria.
That's right. So in the ancient world, we had vineyards, man. Right? Keep reading.
And Ahab spake unto Naboth, saying, Give me thy vineyard.
What did he say?
Give me thy vineyard, that I may have it for a garden of herbs, because it is near unto my house.
Right, so now he kind of coveting this man vineyard, man. Right, the Lord said, thou shalt not covet. Right, and that's what Jake do all the day long. They kind of covet. Oh, I like that car. I want that car. Right, give me that watch. Right, give me them shoes. Right, give me that coat. Keep reading.
It says, and I will give thee it, and I will give thee for it a better vineyard than it, Or if it seem good to thee, I will give thee the worth of it in money. And Naboth said to Ahab, the Lord forbid it me that I should give the inheritance of my fathers unto thee.
Right, so he basically said, hell no, man. Right, this is the inheritance of my father, and rightfully so. Right? Hey, his father literally gave him this vineyard. Why would he sell it for money, man? Right, keep reading.
And Ahab came into his house heavy and displeased, because the word which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken to him, for he had said, I will not give thee the inheritance of my fathers.
Right.
And he laid him down upon his bed and turned away his face and would eat no bread.
Right, so this is off, man. This man is in distress. He's distraught because he was told, right? So that's Jake, man. Right, you tell him, look, well brother, I can't get this to you. I can't sell it to you. Right? Next thing you know, he got an evil eye. Right? He kind of laying in ambush, waiting for you to come out the damn house so he can damn rob you for it, man. Right? These are things that our people do. Right? Keep reading.
It says, but Jezebel, his wife, came to him and said unto him, why is thy spirit so sad that thou eatest no bread?
All right.
And he said unto her, because I spake unto Naboth the Jezreelite, and said unto him, give me thy vineyard for money, or else, if it please thee, I will give thee another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give thee my vineyard. And Jezebel, his wife, said unto him, doest thou now govern the kingdom of Israel? Arise and eat bread, and let thy heart be merry. I will give thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite.
Right, keep reading.
So she wrote in letters in Ahab's name, and sealed them with his seal, and sent the letters unto the elders and to the nobles that were in his city, dwelling in Naboth.
Right, so she forged Ahab's signature, man. Right, so this thievery stuff get deep. Right, and that's what Esau do in the corporate world. Damn, forging signatures, bearing false witness, just doing all kind of madness and folly with the paperwork. Right, keep reading.
It says, and she wrote in the letters, saying, proclaim a fast and set Naboth on high among the people, and set 2 men, sons of Belial,
Right, wicked men,
before him to bear witness against him, saying, thou didst blaspheme God and the king, and then carry him out and stone him that he may die.
that he may do what?
That he may die.
Right, so this is a wicked conspiracy that this wicked woman is plotting, man. Right, keep reading.
And the men of the city, even the elders of the nobles who were the inhabitants in his city, did as Jezebel had sent unto them, and as it was written in the letters which he had sent unto them. They proclaimed a fast and set Naboth on high among the people. And there came in 2 men, children of Belial, and sat before him. And men of Belial witnessed against him, even against Naboth in the presence of the people, saying Naboth did blaspheme God and the king. Then they carried him forth out of the city and stoned him.
They did what?
And stoned him with stones that he died. Then they sent to Jezebel, saying Naboth is stoned and is dead. And it came to pass when Jezebel heard that Naboth was stoned and was dead, that Jezebel said to Ahab, arise, take possession of the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite. Take possession of Naboth, the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite.
So there you go, man. Right, so they killed Naboth and they took his vineyard. Right, so thievery gets deep. It falls in line with murder, extortion, larceny. Right, it all goes hand in hand because it's wicked, man. Right, so you kind of kill somebody, then you take like Jake do that, man. Right, they kill him, then they take his chain. You know what I'm saying? Or they might throw him out the car, they might carjack him. Right, so all this stuff goes hand in hand. All these spirits tie in one to another. Right, you got it.
It says, and it came to pass when Jezebel heard that Naboth was stoned and was dead, that Jezebel said to Ahab, arise, take possession of the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite, which he refused to give thee for money. For Naboth is not alive, but dead. And it came to pass when Ahab heard that Naboth was dead, that Ahab rose up to go down to the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite, to take possession of it.
To do what?
Take possession of it.
So in terms, he stole it, man. Right? You got him killed, and then you stole his vineyard, right, that his father gave to him for an inheritance. right? So this is all wicked in the eyes of the Most High God. Now get 1 Kings chapter 21 and verse 25.
Book of 1 Kings chapter 21 verse 25. But there was none like unto Ahab, which did sell himself to work wickedness in the sight of the Lord.
That's what Jake do all day. They sell their soul, right, for financial gain. Right, keep reading.
It says, to work wickedness in the sight of the Lord, whom Jezebel his wife stirred up.
Keep reading.
And he did very abominably in following idols, according to all things as did the Amorites, whom the Lord cast out before the children of Israel.
Right, that's it on that. Right, so the point is no thievery in Israel. Right, neither murder. You got it.
I have a precept on that. Give Proverbs 1 and verse 10.
Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 10.
Right?
Proverbs 1 and 10. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not.
Right, keep reading.
If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood.
And they say, let us lay wait for blood. Right? That's what Jake do. They come roll with us on this mission, man. Right? Hey, I got a lick, man. Right, keep reading.
Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause.
That's what they do. They kind of lurk, right? Kind of wait till somebody go to the ATM machine so they can run up on them, right? Pull the pistol out, man. Kind of say, hey, run me your money. I kind of hit them with the pistol and all hell break loose. Right, keep reading.
Let us swallow them up alive.
Right.
As the grave and the whole, as those that go down into the pit.
Right, keep
We
reading.
shall find all precious substance.
They show what?
We shall find all precious substance.
Hey, they basically talking about robbing somebody, man. Right? They say if a sinner trying to entice you to go rob somebody, hey, you got to kind of not consent, man. Let's go lay wait without cause for blood so we can get all this substance. Right? So thievery, murder, lying, coveting, it all goes in the same pot of wickedness. Right? Keep reading.
We shall fill our houses with spoil.
Right? They say we go fill our houses with spoil. Spoil is literally going into robbing somebody, man. Right? That's the mindset of Jake. Right? Keep reading.
It says, if it's like cast in thy lot among us, let us all have one purse.
You see that? Let us all have one purse, man. Right? So we all hit this lick, we go kind of split it 4 ways, man. Right? And all, like, that's how they do, man. That's literally what he's saying. Like, come in, we finna hit a lick, man. We go kind of wait here. You know, I'm gonna have a pit, I'm gonna run up on them, then you kind of do X, Y, Z. We gonna split the money, man. That's literally what they saying. Right? So this is the mindset of Jake, even in the ancient world. Solomon wrote this, man. Thousands and thousands of years ago, and it literally relates to today. Right? So thou shalt not steal. It's so many spirits that go into thievery, man. Right? So that's it on that.
You can bring out Leviticus chapter 19. I was gonna bring out another point to kind of close it out. You got it. Get
Another loss.
get real quick. Get Salakia. Right, scripture say. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 30.
Proverbs 6 and 30.
Just started.
But with Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 30. Read. Proverbs 6 and 30. Men do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry.
Hey, some man might steal to satisfy his soul, right? Hey, I mean, it's wicked, you know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to steal, but some people got so-called good reasons, right? They might be hungry, they might be starving, they haven't ate in 2 weeks, right? So the Lord said, don't despise him, man, right? You can't despise a thief. You can't hate a brother if he steal to satisfy his soul, right? Hey, Sir Jake say if he steal from me, I'm gonna cut his hands off. Well, that's wicked, brother. That's not in the scriptures to cut your brother hand off if he steal from you.
He's supposed to pay you back.
They ain't supposed to pay you back. You know what I'm saying? Go work for you. Right? Don't not cut his hand off. Right? Jake is brutish, man. Keep reading.
It says, but if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold.
He shall restore sevenfold.
He
Read
shall
on.
give all the substance of his house.
He shall give all the substance of his house, man. Right? And if he don't got it, hey, look, you got to work for that, man.
God.
You got to be a servant. And that's just judgment right there. That's equity.
Every judge, every law, you know, you don't get put to death for it, man.
Yeah.
You know, Esau, they was, man,
hanging people and all kind of bad.
Some laws you get fined, man. You gotta kind of pay the money. You gotta pay up, right? Now you still in today's time, Esau just gonna throw you in prison. You know what I'm saying? And then he'll make you restore it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but you still gotta go to prison.
Carjacking, 15 years in prison. Damn. Why don't you just work for the person? I'm trying to pay the car back.
What's that gonna do?
15 years.
Can I get a
Alright.
precept? Ezra 7 and 24.
It's not gonna do nothing.
Ezra.
Ezra 7 and 24. It tell you that.
It's not gonna do nothing.
It's the book of Ezra.
Let the brothers.
Ezra, chapter 7 and verse 24. Also, we certify you that touching any of the priests.
Oh, 25.
Verse 25. And thou, Ezra, after the wisdom of thy God that is in thy hand, set magistrates and judges, which may judge all the people, which are beyond the river, all such as know the laws of thy God, and teach ye them that know them not. And whoso will not do the law of thy God and the law of the king, let judgment be executed speedily upon him, whether it be unto death, or to banishment, or to confiscation of goods, or to imprisonment.
That's right.
So that's those different type of judgments besides just getting put to death. You can get your stuff taken. You can get banished from the land, meaning they can say, you know what, you can't come over here no more. You know what I'm saying? Just like they do the sex offenders. They say, hey, you can't be around these parts no more. You got to be far away. You got banished from that land now, man.
Right. And sometimes you be cast without. I got a law real quick I'm holding on to. Go to Exodus 21. It's like it. Oh, Leviticus 19. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 13.
Leviticus 19 and verse 13. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning.
And we kind of went into the first part, right? We already explained on how stealing and robbing that's often that's wicked. But also, if you hire somebody as a servant, you can't defraud him of his labor.
Right.
He has to eat. You go to Leviticus, like in Deuteronomy 24 and 15. Because if I hire a brother to cut my yard and say, hey, I'm done, I say thanks, and I shut the door, he's gonna be like, what the hell?
Yes,
And so I pay you tomorrow, so I got kind of jammed up last second, Salakia. I mean, you're gonna have a bad name, the Lord's gonna catch up with you. You're stealing from your brother.
Yeah.
You're defrauding him of his wages. He gotta feed his family. You're a thief.
Yeah.
You got it.
And Jake do that at Home Improvement, man.
All the time.
They take advantage of elderly people, right? Dang. I knew one Jake. He purposely kind of do something with the roof, man, just to charge extra, right? He kind of jam the roof up, man.
Hey, we was kind of talking about it last week.
Wicked.
We were just talking about it now. It's a term that Israel invented. It's called nigger rigging, right? If they doing something with your plumber, whatever, your shower head, they nigger rig it. They'll fix it just a little bit, just so they can come back out and get paid again.
They just want you to keep coming back out, spending your money. And if you elderly, you don't know what's going on.
Nah.
You just go ahead and go fix it, right?
Thank you,
And then he
David.
go up there and fix it, and he take out a knife and start stabbing the roof, man. And all hell break loose. Now when it's raining, you got big ass leaks. Now you gotta come back out and fix that, man. Here it is, he's trying to fix it, but he did it, man. And he's charging you to fix it, right? So these things occur in Israel, man.
Yeah. Most of the time when Israel sin, it's not just one sin.
Right.
It's like 3 to 4 sins you're doing at that same time. So you're super wicked.
Yeah.
You bring that up.
You shall make you wait 2 weeks for your money too.
Yeah, they make you wait. You in the hole 2 weeks. What if they fire me? And I've heard stories like that.
3
My
weeks
brother
ago.
worked 2 weeks and they let him go because. Yeah, you got it, King.
They say wages can't abide overnight. You gotta pay that man same day come put in work for you.
That's right.
I was gonna make a point. One job I had, I was down 3 weeks in the hole, man. I had to wait 3 weeks, man.
They say plus the wages can't abide overnight. You need 3 weeks to get money.
I just did.
That's
3
madness.
weeks. That's crazy. You said that.
Yeah, that's not right.
3 weeks to get money, bro. Scripture say you gotta pay that man.
That's
You
easy.
bring it out.
7 through 23, 17.
24. 15, I think.
Deuteronomy 24 and verse 15.
Right.
And this day thou shalt give him his hire, neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor and setteth his heart upon it, lest he cry against thee unto the Lord, and it be sin unto thee.
See, you start at verse 14.
Yeah.
Cross out on Lord.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24 and verse 14. Thou shalt not oppress a hired servant that is poor and needy,
Yeah, and Israel, if you do that today, you're wicked because we're already in slavery. Go ahead.
whether he be of thy brethren or of thy strangers that are in thy land within thy gates. At his day thou shalt give him his hire, neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor, and setteth his heart upon it, lest he cry against thee unto the Lord, and it be sin unto thee.
And the Lord can make that happen when you read in Sirach 4. You try to grab that too? Sirach 4 and 1. The poor man can pray against you, and the Most High make it manifest. He can pray, Lord, give me all his money. And the Lord can, okay, I got you. You got it.
The book of Sirach, chapter 4 and verse 1. Sirach 4 and 1. My son, defraud not the poor of his living, and make not the needy eyes to wait long.
See that? You don't want to make the needy eyes to wait along. Lord, please! I need my money. Hey, that's him crying to the Lord.
Right.
And the dude that hired him just sitting back in his recliner. Got that nigga. You know, just chilling. Drinking yah-yah. He got his money. You got it.
Sirach 4 and 5.
Sirach 4 and 5.
On down.
Turn not away thy eyes from the needy,
Right,
and give occasion to curse thee.
right. Keep reading.
For if he curse thee in bitterness of his soul, his prayers shall be heard of him.
First of you what?
Shall be heard of him.
So the Lord gonna kind of jam you up, man. You can't rob a poor person of his damn last chicken nugget, man. And he gonna say, give you all that he had. And the Lord kind of just give you that judgment, man.
And that's what Esau do, man. We already poor, but they oppress the poor even more. Right? In New York, they got spike benches, man. So now the homeless man can't even sit on the bench without paying 75 cents. Plus taxes.
That's so wicked, man. I remember we brought that
For
up.
2 minutes. For 2 minutes, man. He can only sit on the bench for 2 minutes.
Esau's a
Right.
damn demon.
In Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 22.
Good.
Proverbs 22.
Spikes going.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And on the walls of businesses, so you can't
Yep.
sleep in front of the
Yep.
walls. Like, come
Oh, damn. That's wicked.
I ain't gotta go to the hospital.
Damn Spike. That's wicked, man. That's just like you watch John Q. They just gonna let his son die because he ain't had the.
Yeah, the insurance. You got it, brother.
He saw a devil, man.
Proverbs 22:22.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 22.
Right.
Why not the poor? Because he is poor.
You can't rob the poor because he's poor, man. Keep reading.
Neither oppress the afflicted in the gate.
Neither oppress the afflicted in the gate, man.
Right.
Esau do that all the day long. He oppressed the afflicted in the gate, right? Check your damn bank. You got some unknown charges, man. Like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Where this come from? That happened to me. Then you call your bank and they act like they don't know what's going on. Oh, we see if they can get away with it, right?
They say,
Right? All hell breaking loose, man. Are the biggest thieves, man. White man, chiefly the so-called Jew man, right?
Guy, I don't know if y'all heard about him. He stole millions from people. Wells Fargo. I just got done watching a documentary about them like a week ago or two.
Probably.
They steal millions from Jake.
Yeah.
They abuse us.
Brett Favre did that.
Yeah, Brett Favre stole like $5 million from the school
I'm out.
to build up his daughter's gymnasium.
Yeah.
You got the money. You're rich. Where's your regular money? And your copperhead money.
It's the Brett Favre welfare scandal. And we know who on welfare. Right? Our people on welfare, man. The Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
Right? So it's
That's awful.
we're gonna expose them, man. We're gonna expose Brett Favre. Right? It's let's go with
Damn Brett Favre, man.
right, because it's a lot going up. Right. Because they try to hide this information, man. Right? They try to hide this information. Right, let me see.
5 million?
$5 million, man. And that's not a little bit of money. That's a lot of money.
For a gymnasium?
For a gymnasium.
And there's only so much you can do with a gymnasium.
Oh, they trying to hide the information, man.
Yeah, they didn't want to talk about it on ESPN.
Yeah.
They want to talk about Kyrie and Kanye all damn day. They said, nah, leave Brett Favre alone. He's a white man.
He said Brett Favre has finally addressed claims that he was allegedly involved in the Mississippi Welfare Fund scandal. Look, you were involved, man. They say in a lengthy statement to Fox News, he said, I have been unjustly smeared in the media. Right?
You know he a racist too, Brett Favre.
Yeah. So look, this is what happened.
Redneck.
Now he could come out and say, look, I didn't do it. You know, they lying on me. Look, you did it, man. Your people did it, man. Right? You stole from us, man. You stole our land. You stole our riches, our wealth. You stole everything from the Israelites. Right? So the point is, he was involved in a welfare scandal for $5 million. It said the $5 million was channeled inappropriately from the federal earmarked temporary assistance for needy families funds. Right? So he stole from the needy, man. How wicked can you be? Right? This person already don't have much, and you want to take everything that they got, man. That's like stealing from a homeless person. How evil can you be to steal from a homeless person, man? You kind of see him out there sleeping, you know what I'm saying? You see his, you know, they be having the big bags and the big cart. You kind of go sneak, right? And damn steal his shoes.
That's
Socks.
beyond wicked.
And he you know, he got his food, he might got his fruit, his water. He kind of go take his fruits, man. And you said, well, look, you said, look, I needed it, man. I needed it to satisfy my soul. Here it is, you driving around in the Benz, but you talking about I needed that homeless man fruit, man.
I definitely got a precept on that.
You got it.
It says, verse 23,
Perfect example.
for the Lord will plead their cause and spoil.
Right? So that's going into the so-called white man. He's going to be spoiled, right? All the riches and wealth that he got, he's going to vomit it back up, man. Right? So Brett Favre, here it is. This man is worth millions all his damn life, man. I believe, well, he went down in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? He got his Wrangler deal going on. You know. So here it is, this man with all this money.
Stealing from the poor.
Just stealing from the poor and needy families. You know what he said? I don't give a damn about these niggers. Right? Yeah, I gotta build my daughter gymnasium. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Wicked, man. I got a precept on that. It's 2 Samuel 12:1.
Not use his own money, but steal from the poor.
He got money.
He could have used his own money, but he said, you know what? They on welfare. They don't need to be on welfare. Cut off welfare. Right? Because that's how Esau feel, man.
Yeah. They're like, get up, quit being lazy.
Yeah.
Stop complaining about slavery. Stop being lazy.
Get off your ass.
God, yeah, they speak wickedly concerning oppression.
Yeah.
Bring that up, man. 2 Samuel 12:1.
Book of 2 Samuel chapter.
That's so wicked, man.
2 Samuel 12 and verse 1.
Right?
And the Lord sent Nathan unto David, and he came unto him and said unto him, there were two men in one city,
Right?
the one rich and the other poor.
You got a rich man, you got a poor man, right? Can you read it?
The rich man had exceeding many flocks,
Right?
but the poor man had nothing,
Right, the poor man had nothing. Jack squat, right? Can you read it?
save one little ewe lamb,
Hey, he had a little lamb, man. Right, the poor man had his little lamb, right? Can you read it?
which he had bought and nourished up,
Right?
and it grew up together with him
Right?
and with his children.
And with his, it was a pet lamb, right? He loved his lamb. He kind of nourished it up. I grew up with him and his kid. This is lamb. This is pet lamb, man. Right? He reading. And he poor, ain't got nothing, but he got this lamb he loved, man. And then he poor, he loved his damn pit bull, man. Right? Can you read it?
It did eat of his own meat,
Right?
and drank of his own cup, and lay in his bosom,
Right?
and was unto him as a daughter.
Right? And you know Jay love his animals, man. Right? Can you read it?
And there came a traveler unto the rich man,
Right?
and he spared to take of his own flock.
But he didn't want to, the rich man didn't want to take of his own flock. Right? He had his own flock, but he didn't want to take.
Herd
Right?
to dress,
Right?
But took the poor man's land.
But he took the poor. You got all these lambs, but you want to take from the poor man. Right? And Esau, you got all the riches, but you come down to the poor and take from them.
And that's hatred. You know what I'm saying? It's not even, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Keep reading.
And it took the poor man's lamb and dressed it for the man that was come to
Right,
him.
he dressed it for him. Right, took the poor man's lamb. He had nothing.
He kindled against the man.
Right.
And he said to Nathan, as the Lord liveth, the man that have done this thing shall surely die.
You see that? David said, hey man, whoever did something like that, heinous and wicked, that man needs to die. All right. So that's wicked, man. To have all the riches in abundance, then you turn around and take from the poor man. Wicked as hell, man.
Get Job chapter 23 and verse 10.
Book of Job,
Got you.
chapter 23 and verse 10.
Right?
Reads, Job 23 and 10. But he knoweth the way that
That's a
I
lot.
take.
Proverbs 23 and 10. My bad, King.
And it reads, remove not the old
You
landmark
can't remove the old landmarks. That's what Esau did. Read on.
and enter not into the fields of the fatherless.
Hey, Esau do that all day, man. Enter into the outfit. The fatherless, he already don't have a father, right? So his finances kind of jammed up. You know what I'm saying? He don't really got an inheritance. He don't got wealth, right? Like a rich man would have. But Esau kind of go into his field and stealing everything in his fields. You know, keep reading.
For their Redeemer is mighty.
Our Redeemer is mighty, right? Hamashiach Yahushua. Read on.
He shall plead their cause with thee.
Right, and he's going to plead our cause. Right, that's it. It's like it say that in Luke chapter 18 and verse 7. Right? Got it.
Apply thy heart unto instruction and thy ears to the words of knowledge.
That's it on that. You got it, King.
I'll give you some rack 21 and 5.
Sirach 21 verse 5. Sirach 21 and 5. A prayer out of a poor man's mouth reacheth to the ears of God, and his judgment cometh speedily.
How?
Speedily.
We praying to get out of here. We praying to throwing a curse on the heathen, man. And the judgment gonna come speedily because we all for it. Right, get the book of James 2 and 5.
The book of James, chapter 2 and verse 5. James 2 and 5. Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not God chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom, which he hath promised to them that love him?
Right, so the Lord chose us, we the poor of the earth. So when we cry to the Most High, the judgment gonna come speedily from Esau and all these wicked nations.
Now you have one.
Khan. You can bring out that point though, King.
Yeah, Esau, they have something called redlining. For those who don't know. Long story short, it's a huge thing, but it should still be in today. Long story short, let's say an Edomite wants to get certain land or a house, rather. They'll go to a real estate or a real estate person. They'll speak to him, and that real estate man or woman, you know, they'll look out and scope the area. Probably ran out.
Khan, get a.
They,
You got
they,
the point. Yep.
they pushed us to the border. They did that with the Trail of Tears. They removed the landmarks and said, look, y'all live over here now. Y'all live on the reservations. And if y'all ever try to come here, y'all can't do it because we're getting our real estate agents to deny y'all and say the houses aren't available.
Wicked as hell.
Khan.
He said removing them landmarks, man.
So that's what they do, man. And landmarks, that's your border, pretty much.
That's your border. And long story short, that's just your border and your area of your land.
Couldn't find a precept. You got it.
All right, get Leviticus 25 and 1. Another law.
The book of Leviticus 25. The Lord spake unto Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, speak to the children of Israel and say unto them, when ye come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Lord.
Right, and the Sabbath is going into a rest. Right, so you have a rest year that you would give the land itself. And Esau don't give the land rest. Right, that's why in Isaiah 14 it says, hey, the trees are gonna say no feller has come upon us no more, man. To damn cut us down. right? Because they don't give the land any rest in this society.
Right.
Right, that's why the earth is them getting beat down with this wicked ruler, man. Right, because they so greedy, they don't even want to get a land rest. Right, you read it?
6 years thou shalt sow the field,
Right.
in 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard, and gather in the fruit thereof.
Right, so you would gather in the fruit for 6 years.
Right.
Right, just, do things as normal. Right, and it's all based on literally the different feast days that they have. Right, like you go into the Passover, you got the first fruits, and you do the Pentecost, and you do these different feast days all based on reaping and sowing the field, agriculture. So you do that regularly for 6 years, right? You reading?
But in the 7th year,
Right?
ye shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land,
Right.
a Sabbath for the Lord. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard.
Right, so you don't sow the field and prune the vineyard on that 7th year. You give it rest. So every 7 years, that'll be the year of the Jubilee. That's what this is going into, right? You reading?
It says, that which groweth of its own accord, that which groweth of its own accord of thy harvest, thou shalt not reap, neither gather the grapes of thy vine undressed. For it is the year of the rest unto the land.
You see, that's things will grow in its own, right? But you don't reap that. So you're not sowing or reaping anything that grows of its own, right? You reading?
It says, and the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you, for thee, and for thy servant, and for thy maid, and for thy hired servant, and for thy stranger that sojourneth with thee,
Right?
and for thy cattle, and for the beasts that are in thy land. Shall all the increase thereof be meat.
Right, so you will eat of the things that grow, right? So you can sustain your household. But you don't reap it and store it up and do other things with it to try to, get some kind of commissary. You just kind of, pluck whatever it is so you can eat, whatever the case may be. But you don't sow and reap that land. That's the year of the Jubilee, right? Or the year of the rest. All right, so that's another diverse law, right? Going into the year that every 7th year, you would give the land a rest. All right.
Right. Get
That's past that. The 7 years of land of the rest. The Jubilee is going into something else. That's going into the 50th year.
Yeah.
Right, but every 7th year, you get the Sabbath a rest, or the land a rest.
And you eat what grows of itself in the 7th year.
Yeah, you can eat what grows of itself, but you don't sow or reap in that 7th year. So you don't kind of go in there and kind of go crazy and pull the oxen out and get a sickle and you going crazy on the land. And you might go out, pluck some grapes, do what you gotta do, pluck some little things of corn, go feed the family and the servants and cattle with that. But you don't sow and reap. A big way we made finances in the ancient world are wheat harvest. So you would give it a rest for that year.
God. Just get Leviticus chapter 19, verse 9, okay?
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 9. Leviticus 19 and verse 9. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of thy field, neither shalt thou gather the gleanings of thy harvest. And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of thy vineyard.
Read it from the top, man.
Verse 9 again. You want verse 9 again?
We just came in the 7th.
God, read that again, King.
All right. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 9. And when you reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corn of thy field, neither shalt thou gather the gleanings of thy harvest.
Right, so read it again, Salaki, King.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 9.
Right.
And when you reap the harvest of your land,
Right, when you reap in the harvest, read on.
thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of thy field,
Right.
neither shalt thou gather the gleanings of thy harvest.
I mean, you can't gather everything within your harvest, man. Or you might get grapes, you know what I'm saying? They kind of, fell on the ground, fell within your vineyard. You can't gather everything up. Right, keep reading.
Verse 10. And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape.
And the gleans, it means remainings, right? Keep reading.
Every grape of thy vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor and stranger.
Thou shalt do what?
Thou shalt leave them for the poor and the stranger. I am the Lord your God.
That's right. You got to leave that for the poor and the stranger.
I want to quote this definition.
You can bring that out, right? So the point is, this is taking care of your brother, right? This is good economics, man, right? So your nation can be straight.
If I can stop that man from stealing.
Yeah.
Bring that out, the definition of gleaning, it says gather or leftover grain or other produce after the harvest. So it's like that leftover. Like you might kind of gather, then it's kind of some leftover, grape, whatever. You don't kind of go pick up every little damn grape, man. Do that for the poor.
That's what Esau do.
Exactly.
Esau
so greedy, they put chickens and stuff in labs and feed them steroids and make them bigger and all help you break.
That's being cruel to the beasts of the earth, Hey, Esau vineyards be having damn gates, damn 12-foot high gates up with the barbed wire.
Electric
fence.
fence.
Keep out, or you will be shot. Right? That's what they say in Esau vineyard, man.
Not one can go.
Let you try to hop over Esau vineyard and gather some grapes, man.
I appreciate
He gonna come out with that shoddy, man, and kind of lay you down, right?
Real quick.
Beware.
And they gonna let him get away, man. They gonna let him beat that case, man. But hey, that's against the scriptures, man. Hey, if you got some gleaning, hey, let the poor kind of come in your yard and eat the gleanings. That's thus saith the Lord. You got it.
Can I get Ruth chapter 2? Go to verse number 15.
When she was doing that?
Ruth 2 and 15.
And you in real Salaki, you can't get mad at that, man. You kind of see the poor, you kind of in your yard, man. Kind of gathering up the gleanings. What you gonna do about it, man? He gonna pull that priest, he gonna pull the scripture and say, well, look, I can gather the gleanings. I'm a poor man.
Cat.
Wherever you is.
You bring it up.
Book of Ruth, chapter 2 and verse 15. And when she was risen up to glean, Boaz commanded his young men, saying, let her glean, even among the sheaves, and reproach her not.
Right. Right, you read it?
And let fall also some of the handfuls of, and leave them.
And do what?
And leave them.
And handfuls, and some might fall, and kind of leave them, right, read?
That she may glean them and rebuke her. So she gleaned in the field unto even, and beat out that she had gleaned, and it was about an ephah of barley.
You see, that's what she got, like an ephah of barley, man. Kind of beat it down and kind of make damn a bread out of it or something, man. Right? So he was kind of saying, hey, get the handfuls and kind of, whatever fall out for the purpose of her gleaning, just leave it, man. Right? And don't reproach her for it. Right, brother? You bring it up.
Jeremiah 49.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter in verse 9. Jeremiah 49 in verse 9. If grape gatherers come to thee.
Glean grapes.
There's Jeremiah 49 and 9.
Kind of say the same thing in Obadiah. Keep reading.
If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes?
Would they not leave some of the rest of the grapes? The remaining of the grapes? Read on.
If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough.
Con. That's it on that.
That's good on that.
Con. Get Obadiah. Get Obadiah chapter 1.
Verse 5.
Saying the same thing in the book of Obadiah.
The book of Obadiah.
Salaki too. Yeah. When you keep reading on that too, it's going to
You want to keep reading?
Esau.
You could.
Just like to get
Or
the
you
point.
can read over there.
Time.
All right. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough?
Would they not have stolen till they had enough? Read on.
If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
Keep reading.
How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
Right, so what it's saying is Esau don't leave no grapes, man. He take everything, man. You know, he gather up everything, literally everything. Even if it falls on the ground, Esau gonna pick it up and put it in his bag. Right? He gonna put it in that sackcloth bag. He gonna kind of throw it on his back, and he gonna take everything in his damn his barn. You know, he gonna gather all the damn apples. Right? Okay, all the oranges. Right? He gonna kind of put it back like this, man. Right? And then he gonna walk it into his barn, and then the poor is gonna be right there starving,
He
man.
gonna let some rock too, man. He gonna let some rock.
That's an, get that Habakkuk 1 and
He
10.
might give you the rotten ones, right? But he's not gonna give you the fresh pick one. Nope. You know,
Precept on that. Yeah, Esau gonna take every guy.
he the one. He gonna get man.
That's why the Lord used that similitude to the gleanings.
Good. Good.
Cause they go just like big old bag, man. And like you said, they got the big fence, electric fence. Kind of touch it, you get zapped. They got damn watches in the tower, ready to shoot you with a sniper, man. Cameras and stuff. They dare you. Let Esau see a poor Jake in his yard trying to kind of.
Oh hell, that's his worst nightmare. That's his worst nightmare. To see a poor so-called black man come in his yard.
Next to his fence, man. Why are you next to my fence, boy?
That ain't come true.
You just finally kill a nigger.
That's why they go up to the farmland. They stay away from the city as much as possible. They know Jake lives.
Bring that out. Bring that out, kid.
The book of Habakkuk chapter 1 and verse 10.
Wicked as hell.
And they, Habakkuk 1 and 10, and they shall scoff at the kings, and the princes shall be a scorn unto them. They shall deride every stronghold, for they shall heap dust and take it.
Hey, Esau take the damn dust, man. That's just how much of a thief he is, man. He'll take everything.
The literal dust bunnies, man. Here it is, your house is, you want your whole house. Esau would literally take your house. He would dig the foundation and take your whole damn house, man.
With a crane.
Well, yeah, with a crane, you know.
Oh.
And put it, you know, in his land.
Cause he wanna make a highway.
Yeah. He chopping down trees.
Yeah, you see that, what's that, not Disney.
Avatar?
Lorax.
Oh
yeah.
Lorax. That's Esau.
Lorax.
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 That's correct.
Yeah, he was chopping out the trees.
The little orange thing.
Yeah.
Orange down the mustache.
Yeah.
He
He
said
chopping
we need more trees.
Yeah.
He said there's no more trees.
Damn,
That's what Esau's gonna do.
That's what Esau.
He's gonna harvest till there's nothing left. That's how it's gonna
Yeah, that's why you don't get no. That's why you gotta get the land rest.
Land rest.
Money.
Say no, right?
Because they got, they got that chart. The economics gonna drop like this. They like, no, we're gonna lose $40 billion.
And that's the hypocrisy. That's the hypocrisy of the so-called white man. It is you got Earth Day, but you don't give the Earth no rest.
Earth
You
Day.
just keep working the Earth. You got working the Earth. You know that's all.
Earth Day.
You know.
They got Earth Day.
What
They
is
got
that?
Arbor Day for
It's
the
like,
trees and still cut them down.
Yeah, and yeah, man.
Make
And
sure
technology,
Friday.
and technology, man. That's all they want to recycle, man. Technology and plastic. You know?
And we need more paper.
And they keep reusing it, man. You know.
And that's what's gonna be effective.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Real quick, the book of Job, chapter 24 and verse 10.
Right?
They cause him to go naked without clothing, and they take away the sheaf from the hungry.
That's the sheaf, man.
They cause him to go naked. Just
Yeah.
imagine that.
Them gatherings, man. Them gleanings.
Esau, bro.
Take the
Look,
sheaf.
What's that?
Esau has enough money to take care of all the poor of earth.
Heck yeah. Didn't they just give billions to Ukraine or something?
Yeah.
They could have gave that to damn Chicago or Baltimore, Detroit.
Multi-billions. They gave multi-billions.
Let's give $1 million to each hood in America.
Yeah,
They never do.
They gave multi-billions to Ukraine to buy weapons. To fight war.
Billions,
And
You know?
weapons.
Yeah.
Money and weapons.
They made a space force. They spent billions on that. So they
Ain't
spent
going
billions of dollars on folly, man. On
They
folly.
never give it to Jake.
I appreciate it.
They'd be
Never
damned
give
if they give it to a so-called black man. They gave an executive orders for the Moabite man. You know, they give $1 billion to the fake Jews. You know,
So-called Holocaust survivors.
you got a point, Kane?
If you the precinct, you the Wisdom of Solomon.
Small hat committee.
Yeah, the
Small,
hats.
small hats.
Wisdom of Solomon too.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 10. Chapter 2 and verse 10. The poor righteous man.
What did Esau say?
Let us oppress the poor righteous man.
And this is the thoughts of the Amalekites in these high occultic, illuministic areas, man. They say, hey, let's oppress those, man. Let's break them down. Like you read it.
Let us not spare the widow,
Hey, man,
nor
forget the one that lost her child, where she can't get no ET no more. I don't care.
it says, let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age.
They say respect your elders. Esau don't have that, man. Right, hey, if I see any poor so-called old man, hey, I'm gonna gun him down. That's what he thinks, man. He doesn't care how old you are. How many years you worked in the factory, he will fire you.
Even with the military, old military veterans.
I seen an Edomite cop tackle somebody's grandmother, man.
Damn.
He gotta tackle her, man.
It's more on that though.
You know, kind of Ray Lewis there.
The whole thing really means.
Go to, we're gonna start with 13. We're gonna start with 12.
Lord will. let our strength be the law of justice.
First strength is the law. Let's make a new policy. No hobos can stand up in our business. It's a part of the law now.
Them dang
Their
spikes
whole
on the
strength is policies and laws and judgments and wicked laws. That's how they run the whole America. Man. Keep reading.
Isaiah
It
10
says,
and
for
1.
that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
Right, keep reading. It's like,
Therefore, let us lie and wait for the righteous.
so now they lie. They got a sword, right? They kind of just got the sniper. They're waiting for the righteous woman, right? For the Israelites, man. Right, just read.
Because he is not for our turn,
Right.
and he is clean contrary to our doing.
We are clean to the so-called white man, man. Right? They got kosher pig, kosher cigarettes. Right? We don't do kosher
They
pig,
got
man.
Pink City, Tel Aviv.
I've never heard of Jake say,
Yeah,
you know what? Hey, I got some kosher pig. Jake don't do that. All right, you read it?
Says
Kosher shrimp.
he upbraideth us
That's
with
awesome.
our offending the
Wait,
law.
what did he say?
He upbraideth us with our offending the law.
Hey, you making the Esau's more difficult, man. Why are these niggas not celebrating Christmas? Why are they not celebrating Halloween?
Right, it's mad at Kyrie. So they don't want
Hey,
to
that
celebrate
pissed
that.
off.
They did get mad.
The day off Christmas. Are we not dealing with that, man? So we making their ways harder. While we're clean, right? You
He hurt.
And objective to our infamy, the transgressions of our education.
And then we don't want to, hey, we don't take Esau's education. We're not going to learn from small hats who the real Jews are, man.
Yehudis.
I'm not going to Israel and learn from Rabbi Finkelschmerz. Right? I don't want that education, man. I don't want that. Right? Finkelschmerz. What the hell are you, man?
Time, and that's real, man. You know,
Right,
we follow the laws of the Bible, right? We don't go to the so-called white man for education,
At all.
right? Because this education is wicked, man.
Flawed education.
He's gonna educate you on how we're monkeys, right? You know, Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Something came out of nothing.
The earth is
Even their
4.6 billion years
Salaki,
old.
their own science cuts that ideology, man. So how?
You gotta have some much energy. You gotta have something actually.
Because it never is.
Because it's
It's destroyed. It's all the same.
That's madness.
They tell us our history started as slavery.
All that
And
biogenesis.
they taking that out.
That's folly.
They don't even start the history there no more. You know, they teaching the children now, and y'all was just niggas in America.
Yeah.
They don't even tell you
And
came from
mammals.
Africa.
Yeah, they don't even teach that no more. They just teach Martin Luther King,
Yup.
civil rights movement.
They was
Same
dirty.
video, and we were mammals.
Yeah, the one, yeah, my friend,
Yeah, they always play my friend Mark.
my friend Martin.
Kind of had Esau chasing down, the guy.
That's
You
all.
don't want your
Yeah, that was
education.
an all.
My friend Martin.
They They would play that every February.
Yeah, every so-called Black History Month.
They, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
You get that same like sheet you color in.
They cut the lights off, you know what I'm saying? Everybody sitting around. Yeah.
Damn crap.
Little TV this is
We
big.
watching my friend Martin, man. We're not learning about the laws of the Lord. We're not learning where the Israelites. We're learning about my friend Martin.
My friend, that goddamn cartoon,
A
bro.
cartoon about coonery, man. 'Cause that's also what that cartoon was about. They was he was running from Esau. Esau was damn chasing him, man.
Oh,
They ain't showing fighting back, you know what I'm saying?
nah, just
And they used to get kind of spat on, and they just kind of white. With Esau.
Just to eat
Why
with
would he eat with you?
so-called
You don't even bathe. Why wouldn't he eat next to the Edomite?
That
I want to
movement,
sit next to him on the bus.
that movement was folly, man.
That's
You
wicked.
literally sitting at the table just so Esau can spit in your food and throw a pie in your face.
And you just sit there.
And you just sit there and let it
Your
happen.
little hat,
That's
your
weak,
little
bro.
suit.
That's weak and
We
that's
gonna
not
fight
intelligent.
We're gonna fight them with peace.
with a small hand.
Yeah, we gonna love him. We gotta love him more. That spirit.
When has nations ever fought someone with peace? You don't. It's a
No,
fight.
it's never been said. That's never been said.
That's why they take us as a joke now.
Start damn, give him compliments.
Hey,
love you, son.
hey, Jake, oh,
Yeah, who would just sit there and get spat? Let them mow it by you. Hey, you trying to steal from a ball, but they all jump them. They be jumping even in salon, man.
That's what Christianity is, man.
turn
Right?
up the cheek.
And that's not what it's going into, man.
See, that brother said they threw hot coffee in their face.
Yeah, see that? Right? If your brother smite you spiritually, your brother talk down on you, you gotta forgive your brother. You gotta turn the other cheek. That's not talking about somebody smack you in your face and you kind of get the other cheek. You know what I'm saying? Not talking about that,
I think Christ is just like that.
man. You know? Somebody smack you in the other cheek.
Man, they was scared to ask Christ a question. You think they gonna put you know what I'm saying? They gonna kind of smack Yahweh shot.
He said, I'll stay around.
I got a precept on that real quick. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 6, man. Right? Because it's a righteous thing. It's a righteous thing to recompense tribulation.
Oh, they sprayed them down with water hoses and they just kept marching. No justice, no peace.
They
Sick of dogs.
sick of dogs.
And they actually did it after Malcolm X. They tried to like, cause you know, Martin Luther King was small heads for real.
Yeah.
So they really endorsed him to think, love, people just beat these niggas.
Yeah, Malcolm X wasn't with that. Necessary, man. Kind of got the K in his hand. You know what I'm saying? Look
That's scary to somebody.
That's
That's the scariest thing, man.
Malcolm X was mighty,
A
man.
book and a gun.
That's why they killed.
Yeah, he
the
knew
Black
we were the
Panthers.
real Jews.
That's
man.
why they killed the Black Panthers, man. Like,
Yeah.
They gonna defend
Yeah,
themselves?
they shot up Fred Hampton while he was sleeping with his family, man. Right? He was literally in the bed, you know what I'm saying, at night sleeping with his family, man.
Shot them
And then
up.
they kind of busted in the door and shot up Fred Hampton, man. And Fred Hampton was mighty. He was 21. He was 21 years
Yeah, that's
old,
Mike.
leading millions of men.
Their sister made a point too. He said we turn the other cheek for others and not our own people.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right.
They can never let their own brother do them like
That's
that.
that coon spirit.
Yeah, let your brother step on your shoe. You'll be ready to blow his damn head off, man.
And they was doing that back in Martin Luther King at them times, stabbing with a damn ice pick. My granny said before guns they had ice picks. Man.
Yeah. They
Stealing,
used to go down
stabbing,
in the
take-
pool halls, man. In the pool halls, man, they pull out the damn knife. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They had the look. It was a reason. They had
You know, they all had suits on, listening to jazz,
You
kind
know
of
what I'm saying?
getting wild, man.
They used to be fighting in the pool halls, man. But when that white man come in, everybody quiet.
Oh.
On their best behavior, man.
Walk across the street, or put your head down, you can't look them in the eye.
Hey man, Esau can call
Cause
you.
you tough with your brother.
I mean, let Esau can call you boy, man. Let Jake call you boy. All hell gonna break loose.
Yeah.
What you say to me, nigga?
Yeah.
That's not. I don't know you like that.
Yeah.
What you say, John Turkey?
Yeah.
Kid got to put the knife
What
out.
Jake said, where you from, man? That's like where you from, man. They hit you with that. Where
Like
you,
10 seconds.
They never asked
Yeah.
Esau that.
what's
Yeah,
your,
You were like, what you doing around
what
here?
size you with?
Nah, he just say he just walk
They
in
say,
there.
I heard.
He just walk in there. He just,
Yeah, Esau can jog through the hood.
Yeah. Walk his poodle. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody
His
even
little
know.
dog.
You know they right in the middle of the hood. They right outside my Illinois. It's like you go down one end, you got a whole ghetto. Then you go down one end, you got a whole mansion. White people just walk around, just living
And
life.
Jake robbing each other.
they not going over there.
And that's the curse I'll
Tell
take
me
money
so
right
they ain't
here.
that checking on my city.
that check-in spirit.
Yeah, they don't know.
Yeah, check in. That's what they. That's
They
what
never
Jake
told
say.
Jack
now.
Harlow to check in.
LA.
That's what Jake say. now.
LA, no.
I never heard of Jack Harlow got to check in.
He don't
That's
say
what Jake say. We the mob. Check in. You know what I'm saying? What are you
He
talking
just said
about,
that to
brother?
Jake, though.
That's so corny,
He
man.
just said that to Jake.
We, if you come to my city, you gotta call me. You don't say that to the so-called white man.
Say that to
You don't
the
say
mayor.
that.
Say that to the mayor.
So then you support acid in the public schools. If Jake was swimming in
Yeah, that's why Jake stopped swimming.
That's what, yeah, we doing a Q&A. Now, we gonna switch it to Q&A. So anybody got questions, bring them out. Somebody actually asked on YouTube, can you use the microwave to reheat food on the Shabbat? La'ah. The answer is la'ah. You can't cook on the Sabbath.
Exodus 35:2. Let's go back to the basics, man. Right? Because I believe microwave pushes off that heat radiation.
Yeah.
Which in terms is you kindling that fire.
Yeah, it's just a concealed fire. That's all.
Yep.
That's all. It's the book of Exodus. What you want? I'm gonna start at 1. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 35, and verse 1. All the congregation of the children of Israel together, and said unto them, these are the words which the Lord hath commanded, that ye should do them. 6 days shall work be done.
Right, you got 6 days to work, labor, get all your work done. 6 days to buy your food, right? 6 days to, cook your food essentially, because you have a preparation day. It's what in Mark chapter 15, verse 42. And that's why the Lord told us to, basically store up twice as much bread.
Yeah.
Why did we have to do that? Because we couldn't cook on the Shabbat. Keep reading.
It says, but on the 7th day there shall be to you a holy day.
Right.
A work therein shall, and whosoever doeth, work therein shall be put to death.
Right, playing upon tables, you will get put to death by the Lord. Read on.
Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day.
You shall kindle no fire for the sake of cooking. Right, because the priest lit incense on the Shabbat. Right? But you can't light a fire to cook your food.
The only people that really could do that was the priests. Because they had to make things of that nature.
Yeah.
But if you're not a priest, hey,
Never on purpose.
And-
Okay.
because Jake could say that. Well,
That's
what
why
about
the-
the priest? I'm a priest.
But see, that's why the Lord said, it's lawful to do well in the Shabbat. Right? The priest was doing lawful things on the Shabbat. Right? So you can't even put yourself in that situation.
And even in Exodus 16:23 on down, it'll tell you how they gathered twice as much and cooked what they was going to cook during the preparation because they couldn't cook on the Shabbat.
Quick point. And that's how you know that cooking is truly profaning the Shabbat, because that's the only way that the priests actually profane the Sabbath.
And we're
It's by
blameless.
cooking.
Can't
So
bring that out.
that's how you know that that's what you can't really do.
Yeah, bring it out, right?
I'll go to Exodus first.
Exodus 16.
But that, I was saying that's the point. That's how you know it's literally talking about cooking, because it say that the profane the Shabbat but are blameless. How do they do that? By cooking, because they got to do the sacrifice. So that's how you know it's literally cooking.
Yeah, it was working, period. It was working and cooking.
Because you got to
Doing the morning and evening sacrifice
Exactly. It's the book of Exodus,
every day.
chapter 16. I'm gonna start at verse 20. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 16, and verse 20. Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses, but some of them left of it until the morning, and it bred worms and stank, and Moses was wroth with them. And they gathered morning every man according to his eating. And when the sun waxed hot, it melted. And it came to pass that on the 6th day, they gathered twice as much bread.
The 6th day is the preparation day. That's the day you prepare, get all your food cooked, pay your bills, go to the store, right? You shouldn't be doing it, the day of. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be doing that. You got a preparation day to do that. All right, keep reading.
2 omers for one man, and all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. And he said unto them, this is that which the Lord have said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord.
Right.
Bake that which ye will bake today,
Right.
and see that ye will see, and that which remaineth
You gotta cook.
today.
Cook what
That
you gotta
6th
cook on a preparation day.
Exactly.
Right? So the Sabbath day you're not cooking or
Exactly.
profaning the Sabbath.
I got a precept on preparation real quick.
Exactly.
Mark 15:42.
It's the book of Mark, chapter 15, and verse 42.
Right.
Right? It reads,
Yeah, that's really plain, man. And why would he tell them to cook what they go cook? Boil what they go boil? To cook.
Yeah.
All right, bring it up.
No toasters, no microwaves, no crafty counsel.
What's the thing you make pancakes on? The little skillet thing?
Damn griddle.
Yeah,
Yeah, griddle.
grilled. You talking about grilled?
The little
Is that
oven.
what they call it? Griddle.
No George Foreman grill.
Yeah, George Foreman grill.
Trying to make
It's one
grilled
day,
cheese
man.
sandwich.
It ain't that deep, all right?
It's not that deep, man. Bring it up, man.
The book of Mark, chapter 15, verse 42.
Right?
And now when the even was come,
When the even was come,
the even was because it was the preparation.
it was the preparation day,
That
right?
is the day before the Sabbath.
Right, so the day before the Sabbath, they was cooking and leaving it to the morning. Because again, they couldn't cook during the Sabbath because they couldn't kindle that fight.
Right.
Can I get the precept though?
I think he had one on the profane Sabbath, real quick.
What's that, Matthew? Chapter, I think.
It's either Matthew 12, Mark 2, or Luke 2.
Matthew 12 and 1, King.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 12, and verse 1.
Right.
At that time, Yahushua went on the Sabbath day through the
Like, you
corn.
can just jump to 5 to
Now
get
get
to
the
the
whole
point.
context.
Here you go,
Context, fire. It says through the corn, and his disciples were hungry, and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat. But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath
And a
day.
quick point. He's just plucking corn. He's just eating corn. Right? They were scoffing at Christ too. Period.
It says, but he said unto them, Have ye not read what David did when he was 100, and that him how he entered into the house of God and did eat the shoe which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the
Right. The priest ate the shewbread on Shabbat. No other tribe. Right. Keep reading.
or have ye not read in the law how that on the Sabbath days the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath
Right. 'Cause
and are blameless?
they work. Essentially they cook. They still do their thing on the Sabbath day, but it's for good reason. Right.
Just like David eating for good reason. You can't say, it's only for the priest and your brother's starving. So he kind of gave him the shoe bread.
The shoe bread was hot.
You see what I'm
I
saying?
got a precept too.
That's the spirit, because I was gonna get Mark.
Okay.
That's
We have-
the
we have-
spirit.
We got questions too. Don't
I
forget
was
we
gonna
got
get
questions.
I was gonna get Mark 2 and 23, proving the fact that you can make sandwiches, cereal, salads, things of that sort. That's not necessarily cooking. It is putting some things together that baked or boiled. Just
It's like them plucking corn. They wasn't cooking the corn. They just
It ain't nothing to grab
Yeah, I
a
know.
piece of.
plucking the
Put it in
corn.
your mouth.
I had a quick
So
It
that's
ain't nothing to
folly.
grab a piece of corn and eat it.
Got
I had a
it.
quick precept real quick.
They was eating corn, bro.
they weren't boiling or cooking.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm trying to see if anybody got any questions.
I got a question.
You got a question?
So you remember when they,
Hold on, Shema.
All right.
yeah, I forgot, what book it's in, but I think it was, in Exodus or Deuteronomy, when, one of them had went to the field and was gathering sticks. How is that not the same, or how is that not synonymous with going out in the field and picking
You're talking about
to
numbers.
eat it?
One is a murder, one is not.
Yeah, get it. Numbers 15 and 32.
Right, let's put it count.
Numbers
book
chapter
of-
15 and verse 30.
Gathered sticks.
Right, that man was gathering sticks. It takes to gather sticks, right? We ain't talking about a little small little stick, no, he was gathering a whole, right? So he's sweating, you know what I'm saying, he putting in all that labor, he's putting in all that work, he burdening yourself. Scripture say, carry not a burden out of your houses. That's in Jeremiah 17 and 21, right? You got it.
It says upon the Sabbath day.
Upon the what?
The Sabbath day.
Right, so the Lord said, don't do no manner of work on the
So
Sabbath
rest.
day, right? You're supposed to be in your dwellings, resting, rejuvenating. Read on.
And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and unto all the congregation. And they put him in ward, because it was not declared what should be done to him.
Right.
And the Lord said unto Moses, the man shall be surely put to death.
Shall be what?
Surely put to death.
Right.
All the congregation shall stone with stones without the camp. And all the congregation brought him without the camp and stoned him with stones, and he died as the Lord commanded Moses.
Right. So when when they was picking corn, that's not work. That's not labor.
Here's a corn. It said cut down the whole damn thing for nothing.
Like, and it is well.
Yeah.
So they had it, you know, plucked so they could eat the corn. You know what I'm saying? Like they was just eating corn. It's like pouring cereal. You're not really working or cooking.
One a bird and one wasn't a bird.
Yeah, that's not a bird versus gathering them. And then who knows he was gathering sticks for? Was he trying to make a tent? Was he trying to cook?
Like a fire.
I mean, we ain't just getting sticks for no reason. He probably was trying to kindle a fire.
I got a precept too.
Build an intent.
Yeah, build it. I mean, what else you doing with all them sticks, man?
This yeah. You
Right.
going off. Get Jerm.
You're just going off.
You gathering. You just
It's
gathering.
two different
sticks.
things. Plucking ears of corn between gathering sticks.
And that take real
They say
work.
not little twigs, man.
Just one stick.
Get Jeremiah 17. Jeremiah chapter 17 verse
He
21.
was going off.
Sticks and branch, that's wood, man. Right? It take a lot of work to gather all this wood and you got the stick over here.
You
and
grabbing
picking up that
twigs
stick
off the
and-
floor.
And then you kind of sweat and then you kind of picking up that. Come on, man.
You might have been chopping it down, kind of.
You're doing
You
too
read
much.
about that for Feast of Tabs.
Yeah.
You gotta gather all them sticks. Types of wood. Man.
Hey, the Lord was already merciful in Exodus 16 chapter. 'Cause he said, is Israel going to keep sinning? He didn't kill all of Israel. Nobody really got punished. So, you know, that just shows you how serious the Lord is. Because he actually killed them too.
17 or what?
17:21.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 21.
Right.
Thus saith the Lord, take heed to yourselves and bear no burden on the Sabbath day.
Do what?
Bear no burden on the Sabbath day.
Hey, plucking an ear of corn, that's not a burden, man. Right, that's equivalent to pulling up some cereal, man. Right? Some cornflakes.
It's literally effortless.
Yeah, it don't take a lot of work.
And Yahushua literally cut the priest cut the,
But when you gathering sticks, that's some effort, strength, so on and so forth. You got it.
In by the gates of Jerusalem.
Bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem. Read on.
Neither for a burden out of your houses on the Sabbath day.
Right?
Neither do ye any work.
It's damn near landscaping, man. Gathering sticks, you know what I'm saying? Sweating. You got it.
But hallow ye the Sabbath day as I commanded your fathers.
That's plain.
I got the book of definition for that stick.
Yeah.
You say tree, wood, timber, stock, plank, stalk, stick, gallows. It's literally say pieces of wood.
And you gather more than one. He might have had a whole axe.
that's it. That's what I'm saying. He probably was cutting them joints down.
They just only caught him with the sticks though. Something like that.
He was just gathering sticks. Who knows how he was gathering?
And what spirit was he in? Is this man is out there? Everybody else is chilling on the Shabbat. This man is out there with a spirit on him, gathering sticks.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
That's all.
Versus men that's hungry and getting a couple pieces of corn.
That's all.
That's not
The
comparable.
Pharisees are just trying to scoff.
Yeah, they were trying to scoff.
But yeah,
That's wicked.
it's more on that.
Nah, any questions? Brothers can ask any questions.
You that one?
Nah. Got people.
Is he still?
I don't know. No, I don't think he's still on.
Because they Watchmen for Israel started a lot. They can't.
Yo,
Yeah.
I got a question.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I got a question.
You got it.
All right, it's in Samuel. Right, look, can you get 2 Samuel 14:27?
14:27.
Yeah,
Book of
so it's
Second.
about Absalom. Absalom had children, and another precept it said
Tomorrow.
it didn't. Yeah. Just read the.
Two different people.
I'm gonna read.
This the book of 2 Samuel, you said 47.
14,
27. This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 14, and verse 27. And unto Absalom 3 sons and 1 daughter, whose name was Tamar. She was a woman of a fair countenance.
Right, so he, because Amnon had raped
The sister.
right. Now go to 2 Samuel 18 and 18.
2 Samuel 18 and 18.
Now, it said he had kids right here, and then we just.
This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 18, and verse 18. Now Absalom in his lifetime had taken and reared up for himself a pillar, which is in the king's dale. He said, I have no son to keep my name in remembrance. And he called the pillar after his own name, and it is called unto this day Absalom's place.
Now I'm asking, did he build this before he had kids, or did they died.
It's going in a chronological order, but it says he had no sons to keep his name in remembrance.
No.
So seeing that his children, I'm trying to see, did they die between here, or I'm not sure if they died or not, but for whatever reason, those kids couldn't keep his remembrance. He definitely had sons though, but it just said his sons couldn't keep his remembrance. It's kind of like if a king had a reason, he's not worthy to be a king unless something happened to his children.
Right, because David had multiple kids.
To see if anything happened, but I don't recall no mention that anything happened to his son.
So like, can you say the precept again?
Which ones?
Missed it, brother.
2 Samuel,
18.
2 Samuel 14 and 27, and 2 Samuel 18 and 18.
Because he built a
I think
place where he
somebody-
had no son to like basically keep his legacy going.
Keep your lineage going to your sons.
I got a precept on that too.
I think that's what
Thinking they saying you can assume his children might have died too.
It's all right, 30.
You can just kind of assume his children died.
16 and 3.
It's all right, 30 and 4.
Come on. Bring it up, Kate.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 4 reads, though his father died, yet he is as though he were not dead.
Right.
For he have left one behind him that is like himself.
Right.
So his sons, I'm guessing his sons wasn't like Absalom. That's what it was. They wasn't wicked and things of that sort.
I got a
Either
precept.
that, they got put to death and it's just not documented.
Get Sirach chapter 16 and verse 3.
Book of Sirach, chapter 16 and verse 3 reads, Sirach 16 and 3 reads,
Right.
trust not thou in their life, neither respect their multitude. For one that is just is better than 1,000,
He said that us is better than 1,000. Read on.
and better it is to die that are ungodly.
Get to what?
Have them that are ungodly.
Much have been ungodly, man. Right? You can't keep them in remembrance. Keep reading.
Like Job kid.
It says, for by
They
one
got to put to death. All right, you got it.
that have understanding shall the city be replenished, but the kindred of the wicked shall speedily become desolate.
But the what?
The kindred of the wicked shall speedily become
The
desolate.
kindred of the wicked shall speedily become desolate, man. Right? So if your son is not worthy, you know, to bear your name or to bear your throne, then hey, man. Yeah.
I mean, you read about that with Abraham. He had many kids. Somebody tore all of them, but they weren't really listed.
It said Isaac was his only son.
Like David had
They're not
multiple
really important.
kids. Remember Solomon was the only
They're
king.
kind of side characters.
Yeah, they're not important.
And on the road. Right. No,
Yeah.
This thing not connected.
Well, like I said, they could have just died.
And you could be a mighty man but have wicked children. You know.
that was
Sirach 16 and 3.
That's like Josiah.
That's what happened with Hezekiah. You know.
Even David.
Let me get a precept, 2 Chronicles. And you can raise your child up to be mighty and keep the commandments and study the law. They still can turn out wicked, man. You know. This it's like 2 Chronicles 33 and 1. He was 12 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 55 years in Jerusalem, but did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, like unto the abominations of the heathen, whom the Lord had cast out before the children of Israel. For he built again the high places which Hezekiah his father had broken down. Now, Hezekiah was a righteous king. You don't think he taught King Manasseh how to, you know, keep the commandments and, you know, be righteous and do things pertaining to the law? He didn't give a damn, right? He wanted.
It's like Abraham, not Abraham. And Abel,
Right.
Cain was meant to be that wicked seed.
Right.
I'm trying to find this precept.
Well, Isaac had Jacob and Esau. You know, Esau was wicked as hell. Jacob was righteous.
It's even a precept.
Samuel had some wicked kids too.
Let's see.
38.
David.
David almost had y'all.
Yeah. A lot of mighty men had wicked children. Not necessarily they fault, you know, because you can teach your kids the commandments all day, but they gonna grow up to be their own person, you know.
I had a priest.
Say if daughter of a priest was a whore, she was to be burnt on fire. You don't think those situations was happening? That's why you know you had got burnt up in the ancient world, right? Because you profane your father's name, he hold on. You supposed to be a priest, but you can't even get your daughter in check. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of make you look at a brother different. A man shall be known in his children.
God.
So you kind of looking at the priest funny. I don't know about getting down. He got a boy. He got a
I don't want to get him
I
around.
don't think I want him out.
Give it to that brother.
Now you kind of looking at the priest sideways.
That's all.
You
Yeah,
know?
question right here.
Yeah, real quick. Yeah, your son could be a gluttonous as well.
It's another
Put him to death. You got it, brother.
You talking about IG?
No, YouTube, Tariq asked something.
You gotta pull it up.
There's some contradiction. Matthew, something in Matthew and Colossians is a contradiction.
I don't know. You might have too much stuff on there. Let's see. It's on the Sabbath. I mean, Detroit.
Yeah, pull it up on the phone. What's the question? Just ask
Want
us.
me to look it up right here?
And he's
It
pulling
says
it up.
it's Matthew 24 and 24 and Colossians 1 and 23 a contradiction.
Matthew 24 and 24.
And Colossians 1 and 23.
So let's get this.
Well, we know the contradiction because the scriptures don't contradict. You just gotta get the understanding.
1 Corinthians
So I don't with that, but you got it.
Now, Matthew 24 and 24. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show wonders, great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Oh, he said 24 and 14.
And real quick, it say if it were possible.
Oh, he said he meant this, 24 and 14.
Okay.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in the whole world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
And that world is Israel. Because again, it's like Israel is a world without end. It's in Isaiah 45.
And Ephesians 19.
So if Israel is a word without end, and we read Colossians 1 and 23, which is this: if they continue in faith, grounded and settled, and be not moved away from the hope of the gospel which ye have heard, and which was preached to every creature which is under heaven, whereof I, Paul, am made a minister. So who's at Colossians? This is Colossians chapter 3, verse 1. It's like it. Colossians,
First chapter. Right?
yeah, maybe it. 1 and 2.
God.
To the saints, were the saints.
The Israelites. Psalms 148 and 14. Psalm chapter 50 and verse 5. Solomon chapter 4.
The saints are Israel. That's playing upon tables.
Right.
Brethren in Hamashiach, which are at Colossus, grace be unto you, and peace from God our Father, and the Lord Yahweh Hamashiach. Right, so when we read verse 23, we know who we're speaking to. We know this. Right, he's telling Israel, speaking to the world, which is Israel, about the Heavenly Father and his Son Yahweh Shai. Similarly to Matthew 24 and 14.
Even
these
verses,
verses,
verse 21.
let's get it, verse 21. And you that were sometimes alienated.
All right, what does alienated mean? Like the word for that is going into
foreign.
like it'll be damn, I like the truth. Estranged, you get cast off.
Hold on real quick. And you that were sometimes alienated and enemies in your mind by wicked works, yet now have he reconciled.
Right? He's reconciling you back to the Father because you previously had a relationship. You were estranged. Like you got an estranged wife and now you're back together. Right? You read it?
Like it's in Romans 11 chapter. Right? We're grafted back in. And the body of his flesh through death to present you holy and unblameable and unprovable in his sight.
Then it says,
unreprovable.
Then it goes into if ye continue in the faith and to be grounded.
Precept.
So it's going into these alienated Israelites, talking about the world of Israel.
God, this is Psalms 106 and 35. This is a classic precept. I started 34. Psalms 106 and 34. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen and learnt their works, and they served their idols which were snare unto them. Right, so our people are mingled among the heathen, right, on the spiritual level, but also on the physical level. Our people are scattered throughout the nations, right? I believe it say that in Nehemiah the 13th chapter, right? You know, they was even kind of speaking like the heathen. You know, they couldn't speak their own tongue. it was kind of speaking like the nations, man. And that's how people today, right? They get so tied in with Esau, they start thinking they Edomites,
Yeah.
you know? So,
Even on another level, the nations got to know the fate and judgment as well. So when it happens, the might and power of the Lord can be known. So even if I'm preaching the gospel amongst the nations, the gospel's still for Israel.
well, I'm gonna say this.
What's the gospel that was preached?
Sometimes nations come up to want to know what we talking about.
Exactly.
And we teach them.
That's my point.
We teach them.
The gospel is the good news for Israel. The good news for Israel can be taught to an Edomite.
Right.
He just understands his role in it.
Right.
So when it happens, the Lord's power can be shown. Because the nations go, no, like, dang, these was the people that they was preaching that to.
Yeah, we're not withholding the knowledge from nobody, man. If they want to come up and know what's going on, we kind of tell them what it is. You know, it's a time and a place with discernment. You know, it's not always profitable to try to, you know, teach an Edomite what's going on if you got a Jake right here that want to learn. You know what I'm saying? But we do cut up Esau when need be.
So the nations got to hear the gospel as well. So when that happens, the Lord's might can be known. Like, dang, they said X, Y, Z was going to happen. And that's all glory to the Most High.
They don't believe half the time anyway, so it's still gonna appear strange when our salvation come to them anyway.
Right? Psalm 5:1.
Yep. Come with some madness.
I really got a definition of alien. It says to transfer, and then the thesaurus, it says to divorce and unite. Reunite. It means to reunite.
Right. And
Re means again, unite, come together.
in Psalms.
Psalm 106 and
Precept, I believe Jeremiah 7:8.
Psalms 106 and 34.
There's
We gonna cut him up.
yeah, because you got guys, you know, on a comment board, you know, saying all kind of coonerism, you know. So we not dealing with this stuff, man. Right? We're gonna deal with it, you know. What'd he say?
He said the gospel is for all who follow Jesus.
who the Christ?
So, you know, the only question really is, what scripture is that? Right?
Right, because look, let me get 1 Peter chapter. Matter of fact, 1 Thessalonians.
Right? What scripture is that?
Right, let's get 1 Thessalonians, the
So
5th
many
chapter.
precepts.
Right, because you got people.
Brothers, hold the precept, hold the precept.
This 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 21. Prove all things. Hold fast that which is good. So you have to prove these things. You have to prove these matters. No scriptures say that this gospel is for all people. Right? Now, let me get a precept. Acts chapter 2 verse 21. You know, because this is one of the scripture's favorite precepts. You know, next to John 3:16. So this is Acts chapter 2 and 1. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Ye men of Israel, hear ye. To the Israelites. That's the context of it. That was also a quote from Joel. God. This is Joel chapter 2
Folly question.
and verse 32. So again, it say ye men of Israel hear his words. It didn't say ye men of all nations. Right? Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 32. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord hath said. Mount Zion, Jerusalem is another title for Israel. Right? And in the remnant whom the Lord shall call, and the remnant of the Israelites. All right, let me get one more quick precept. The remnant of the Israelites.
See that? He brought out Romans 10 and 12. What does Romans 10 and 1 say? All right, go to Romans 10 and 1 and then get back to us.
Who are the Greeks? Right?
All right, get Romans 10 and 1, Chris Curtis Ruffin.
Damn.
And then get back to us.
Chris Ruffles.
Right? So, you know, that's kind of plain. Right, get Acts 13 and 26.
God.
Acts 13 and 26. Right?
It's the book of Acts, chapter 13, and verse 26.
Right?
It says, men and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham.
Right, children of the stock of Abraham, right?
And whosoever among you feareth God.
And whosoever among you are the stock of Abraham that fears the Lord.
To you is the word of this salvation sent.
To you is the word of this salvation sent. right? So it's going to the stock of Abraham that fear God. So you're cut, man. You're cut. You don't know what's going
I got
on.
one more. Oh, you got a precept.
Like, you get Matthew 15 and 24.
I got one after you, brother.
Right? So you're cut. I mean, it's really plain,
How can you
man.
follow Christ if Christ was sent to the Israelites?
Right?
That's a
Right, bring it up.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 4.
Right?
Now there are diversities of gifts,
There's diversities of gifts, read.
but the same spirit.
But the what?
Same spirit.
Right, keep reading.
It says, and there are differences of administrations,
There's differences of administrations, right, read.
but the same Lord.
With the same Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Right? So as long as you're teaching the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, the Israelites, we got to keep the commandments and the faith. Now, do we teach every little exact same thing? La'ah. Why? Because we just read it in the Bible that it's different administrations.
Go to 1 Corinthians 13 and 9.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 9. For 1 Corinthians 12, 4 through 5.
That's why I read 1 Corinthians 12,
4 through 5.
4 through 5.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 9. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part.
Can you read that?
Prophesy in part.
And for we know in part, and we prophesy in part. And that's plain upon it. With certain things that these brothers know, we may be a little remiss on. Certain things we know, they may be a little remiss on. We got one more in Mark 9:40.
The book of Mark chapter 9 and verse 40.
Bring it out.
Reads.
Bring that out.
Book of Mark chapter 9 verse 40. For he that is not against us is on our part.
Hey, that's plain upon tables. If they're not speaking against Yahweh Shai, speaking against Israel, Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom, hey, then they with us.
And that's because in the context, it was casting out devils in his name. He said they're not against us, baby.
Because it wasn't a part of the so-called group.
They was casting out devils in his name.
It didn't matter, man.
It's Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 10.
Jeremiah chapter 49.
Genesis.
Until Shiloh come,
So
and
what?
unto him shall gathering of the people be.
Right in Shiloh, that's Yahweh, which makes people. Right, so when we fully get together until the Lord comes back, get the glory of gathering all camps. Mashiach is going to get that glory.
I think it's just the computer.
And he brought Galatians 3 and 28. Of course, he still didn't bring out Romans 10 and 1 because he got cut. But let's read Galatians 3 and 13 and see who it's talking about. And he read Galatians 4 and 4 already, but let's cut him up. Which we'll bring out next? John 3:16. All right, bring it up.
We should have started with that one.
Galatians 3 and 13.
Yeah, Galatians 13. 28, it says, there's neither Jew nor Greek, there's bond nor free. Well, are you a Jew or are you a Greek, Curtis? All right, bring it up.
The book of Galatians chapter 3 and verse 13.
What about the Chinaman?
Moabites.
From the curse of the law.
Now hold on, these Galatians, he said second Maccabees 6 and 6.
The book of 2 Maccabees.
Said he a Gentile.
Yeah, so if you a Gentile, then you're not a Jew or a Greek, so you're not gonna make it.
What he say? The Lord said he not sent to the Gentiles, man.
All right,
Matthew
bring it up.
He told apostles don't go to the Gentiles.
It's a low-level Christian,
What are you
man.
talking about?
Bring it up,
The
man.
book of 2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 6.
Right, second Maccabees 6 and 6.
Neither was it Sabbath days
Right.
or ancient feasts,
Right.
or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Right, so if I'm in a Greek captivity and I can't call myself a Jew, or I'm gonna get put to death and slaughtered, what I'm gonna call myself? A Greek. Well, I'm gonna teach my kids to call themselves. What they gonna teach their kids, and so now you got Greeks. It's like African American. You was taught, and damn if you call yourself a Jew, because they gonna say you anti-Semitic. So you gonna call yourself black.
This
Same thing.
yeah, this God, that all should be
Was it Greek?
that's right. Verse 42. Yeah, that.
Right, get see if I can find this precept in 1 Maccabees 6.
Right. The point is, you gotta know the history. You can't just say stuff. You know, you gotta know the history. Know what happened to Israel. We were Hellenized. We start calling ourselves Greeks. The Greeks in the New Testament are the Israelites.
That's right, brother.
Matthew doesn't pick up from Malachi. There's a whole time period.
Right.
That's just kind of missing.
Right.
Kind of missing. Right, get 1 Maccabees 6 and 19.
Okay.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 19.
Right?
Wherefore Judas, purposing to destroy them, called all the people together to besiege them.
Right?
So they came together and besieged them in the 150th year, and he made mounts for shot against them, and said, how ere thou execute and avenge.
When Antiochus said what?
We have been willing to serve thy father.
It was serving Antiochus, calling themselves Greeks happily. Right? Can you read it?
And to do as obey his commandments.
And we just read his commandment, right? His commandment was all should be one people. So you had Israelites running around calling themselves Greeks, man. Right? You had Greeks living, you had Israelites living in Greece even among this time too. Right? You had Greeks, Israelites in Sicilia. Right? I think that's Second Maccabees. Yes, real quick, it's Second Maccabees 4 and 36.
Book of Second Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 36.
Right?
And when the king was come again from the places about Cilicia,
Right, Cilicia,
the Jews,
right, the Jews
that were in the city,
so you had Jews in the cities of Sicilia.
Yeah, he need to go back to school.
Right, so that's the plan. All right, any more questions?
Elementary.
Right, going once. There could be any brother. Any questions?
Go ahead, Kane.
Do y'all have any, like, just any precepts or knowledge on the Urim and Thummim that the priests had on the garments? The Urim.
The Yom and Thummim.
I got the same.
Go to
That was remember that a telephone, a GPS.
We're gonna bring up some precepts too. You bring out Exodus 18 and
It's a telephone and a GPS. You want to say what, King?
18.
Saul was using it to try to train.
These are Exodus 18 and 20.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 18. You said verse 20.
God.
Verse Exodus 18 and 20.
You can get 21, you get the point.
20 Exodus 18 and 21. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be the rulers of thousands and the rulers of hundreds and the rulers of fifties and the rulers of tens.
Because you need order and rank in a society, right? Every living society has some type of ruling class or some type of order. Go ahead.
It says, and let them judge the people at all seasons. It shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. So it shall be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee.
So in certain cases, if they had trouble trying to figure out a matter, they'd go to Moses, or perhaps they may even use the Urim and Thummim. And that Urim and Thummim were devices, for lack of better words, to direct the connection from the Heavenly Father, from the heavens. Similar to, I believe Paul used the Urim and Thummim to pretty much navigate where David was and try to seek out certain things. Now, you have tools like any other tool. It can be used for righteousness or it can be used for wickedness, right? The Bible is a tool, right? Obviously, we use it in righteousness, but some men use it to their, for their own wicked purposes and deeds.
I got the information on it.
That Urim and Thummim were, if I'm not mistaken, 2 rocks of some sort.
Yeah.
And again, we're only going to know so much. Not a lot is listed about it. There's only like 4 to 3 verses in the scriptures about the Urim and Thummim.
Yeah.
So like the brother Malachi got a little bit more information on it. One is like lights, and the other one I can't remember.
Perfection.
Perfection.
Right. This is you got a precept. I'm gonna bring out your precept first.
You get 1 Samuel 37. Something with the ephod. Is that going on? 1 Samuel 30 and 7.
They say
No, that's something different.
Urim and Thummim was a part of the priestly garment, though.
Because
it was all part of the garment,
Most
though.
through the ephod and
I got some precepts out there.
Yeah, that's what I say. You felt like they used to get in contact with the Most High.
It's a
Carnal examples, yeah.
communication
kind of
system.
example, yeah.
Communication system.
how do you spell it?
URIM. Urim.
Zero what?
URIM. Urim. That's how you spell it. And Thummim is THUMMIM.
Bring it up.
I got a precept on Urim.
Y'all can't. You just bring out the precept.
No, I said I got one.
Can't. You can bring it out and I bring this out.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 28. And I'll just get straight to the point. I start 1 Samuel 28 and 5. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. And when Saul inquired of the Lord answered him not, neither by James, nor by Urim, nor by prophets. So, like the brother said, essentially it was a communication device. You know what I'm saying? Saul just chose to use it in witness. You know, so that, like a modern day analogy, a cell phone, trying to get in contact with somebody.
So like you moved that precept?
1 Samuel 28, and you can just get straight to the point with 6.
And that can show that Israel, we set apart. We can talk to the Lord through an ephod, through a urim. Like, we're mighty people. That's
I got
what
one
I'm saying.
precept for that.
Or like a GPS, you try to track them down with.
Ask you a question, brother.
Yeah, so, cause I was just reading that book, so when, Saul was trying to get into, when he was in that little room, I think it was with another, prophetess, or whatever the case may be.
Talking about
Yeah.
the
Witch. She was in a room with a
That
witch.
familiar
The
spirit.
witch and indoor.
Yeah, which, did he act, was that like,
Was it real, basically?
yeah, like,
A
did
lot
he
of people
actually
ask
see
that.
Saul? Cause I know
Yeah, he
Saul had
actually.
died.
Yeah, that was
he
Saul.
actually saw him.
The thing about it is,
He brought
it's,
he brought
it's
his
wicked,
spirit
but
back.
it's real. But it's wicked though.
He brought his spirit back. And that's why Saul was pissed. Like, why did you bring me here?
Samuel.
Or Samuel.
Samuel.
That's why Samuel was mad and said, why did you bring me here? You never heard people that go to these witches and they got the little thing and they do this
I
and
had
Luigi
a,
boards.
even a world. She used to be into that stuff. She
Yeah,
had
and-
spirits talking to her in her
And
head.
you would hear it and you would see your great grandfather and you talking to him. That be
Yeah.
real.
It's just wicked though.
Wait a minute.
It's just evil.
Cause I thought your spirit returned back up to the Most High.
It
go back-
it
it
is
go
in
back
there.
to the
But let's
third.
get first Samuel.
It go back to the
It
third.
do, brother. But
It's
I wanna show you.
hold on. When you dealing, when you dealing with witchcraft, it's a lot of different things that they can do. They got power on the left hand side. So when you're dealing with witchcraft, you're able to perform those different miracles on the left hand side. Like Yahweh performed miracles, but it was on the right hand side. You know, he healed the blind, he brought the dead back to life. They can do those things on the left hand side. They can bring down spirits. That's why the Lord told us not to deal with people that have familiar spirits or necromancers. A necromancer is someone who deals or affiliates themselves with the dead.
I got a precept.
And that goes back to Pharaoh when he was able, his people.
Magicians.
Yeah, the magicians.
The first Samuel 28 and 13, just real quick. Going into the actual account. Yeah, that's like you said, necromancer. They're dealing with the dead, man. So that was real. Right? It's just real damn wicked. I bring that
And I
up.
want to the most I can, you know, like, because essentially your spirit do go back to the Lord, but your spirit can get pulled down. You know what I'm saying? That's a little deep. You know, we don't really know too much about that. We're not going to get too much into that, but it can happen if the Most High allow it.
God, that's so-called ghosts, man. It tell you so-called spirits and ghosts.
In second Ezra's, we're in chambers in the scriptures. Now there's no telling exactly down to the T what that chamber is per se, but these people on the left-hand side, they kind of lock that chamber and pull that spirit down.
And I want to say too, because like this is how Cain knew how to build the city, and he got that left hand knowledge from Satan. You can
Exactly.
obtain knowledge. It's like it said in John 8:44, when Christ was talking. You can follow Satan and get left hand knowledge. Like how they do these sacrifices and things, and no small prophecy, because they worship Satan.
Bring that up.
It's the book of 1 Samuel chapter 28 and 13. And the king said unto her, Be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth.
Right, so she basically seen the spirits came to and fro in the earth. And so, you know, you got spirits and angels, they come to and fro out of the portal known as Jacob's ladder. Right, and that's where Saul would have ascended down. So when people deal with necromancy, they pull that spirit out of the third heaven down back to the earth. And some wickedness. That's why Saul was this quiet. He's like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing, man? So he came in the spirit and was talking to him. That's what I'm saying. You hear stories like that.
I had an Eve that was doing this shit.
You know, and it be real, man. This stuff is real, man. This isn't like a fairy tale. If we believe in the Most High, you gotta understand the left hand magic of the earth.
Now, so you probably could be being deceived by demons or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Economic curse.
This Isaiah chapter 19. And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep and that mutter. Should not a people seek unto their God for the living to the dead? All right, let's look up that word mutter, man. All right, let's look up mutter. What does that mean? Kind of throwing up spells now.
Right, Eve got into that shit, bro. She made
Right.
an altar in there.
Say something in a low or barely audible voice, especially in dissatisfaction or irritation.
Whisper, man.
Yeah, kind of whispering, kind of throwing up damn curses and spells, you know. So we can't deal with that, man.
That's wicked, man. That's even in church, man. That be witchcraft. Kind of touch somebody, get spazzing out.
So-called speaking in tongues.
All hell break.
So-called
That's witchcraft.
that gibberish, man.
I was just watching that video where he was touching people, everybody was falling out, but they was falling out, they was still checking on each other that was falling out. And they'll fall out hard, then the person that fell out will get up to check on the person that fell out over here.
I have a quick question. This number is 23. So surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time, it shall be said of Jacob and out of Israel who have got wrought. Like, cause you got left hand and womanistic Esau, they throwing up curses on us. Hey, but that's not going.
Back to the
Numbers. This book of Numbers, chapter 27 and 21.
Bring it out, bring it out.
Numbers 27, 21.
Right.
Then came the daughters of Zelophehad, the son of Hefer, the son of Gideon, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of Manasseh, the son of Joseph.
Numbers 27 and 21.
Numbers 27 and 21. And he shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall ask counsel of him after the judgment of Yerim before the Lord. At his word they go out, and at his word they shall come in, he and all the children of Israel with him, even all the congregations.
Communication device, man.
Yeah.
And Urim.
God.
I got another quick. I got one real quick.
We gonna bring out the information after this.
61.
The book of Ezra, chapter 2, verse 61. Ezra 2 and 61. And of the children of the priests, the children of Habaiah, the children of Koz, the children of Barzillai, which took a wife of the daughters of Barzillai, those that were reckoned by genealogy, but they were not found. Therefore, they as polluted from the priesthood and the church and the priest with Urim and with Thummim.
I got a quick point, because where was the Urim and Thummim at? You get Leviticus 8 and 8.
The book of Leviticus chapter 8 and verse 8, and he put the breastplate upon them. Also, he put in the breastplate the Urim and the Thummim.
So the Urim and the Thummim was around the breastplate of judgment, right? And then, you know, beneath that you had the ephod, right? So yeah, the priest was talk to the Most High.
God, this is GodQuestions.org. It say the Urim, which means lights, and Thummim, which means perfection, were gemstones that were carried by the high priest of Israel on the ephod/priestly garments. They were used by the high priest to determine God's will, the Most High's will in some situations. Some purpose that the Lord caused the Urim and Thummim to light up in varying patterns to reveal his decision. Other proposed that the Urim and Thummim were kept in a pouch and were engraved with symbols. Well, you know, right? So they just throwing out different things.
I can see the Lord doing that. Kind of ask the Lord for a sign that they can light up a certain way.
I mean that, but the last one they said was on it. It don't mention it had symbols on it. But yeah, it say it is unclear if the Urim and Thummim were on, by, or in the high priest's ephod.
It said it was in it.
Yeah, it's in it, right? So, you know, reference to the Urim and Thummim are written in the Bible. They are first mentioned in the description of the breastplate of judgment, Exodus 28 and 38. When Joshua succeeded Moses as leader over Israel, he was to receive answers from God by means of the Eleazar, the high priest, Numbers 27-21. The Urim and the Thummim are next mentioned in Moses' dying blessing upon Levi. That's right. Let the Urim and the Thummim be in our habitation. I believe it says that. That's in Deuteronomy 33 and 8. The following scriptures likely also speak of the Urim and the Thummim. Joshua chapter 7, verse 14 through 18. Brothers can write this down too.
Yeah, I'm scribing.
Yeah, Joshua 7, 14 through 18. 1 Samuel 14, 37 through 45. And 2 Samuel 21 and 1. Numbers 27:21. So yeah, that's the year in the Damam. Light and perfection.
Shit, don't light up, man. That's a question. Probably a day. With the brush between.
I'm trying to see what's wrong with that. In the meantime, that's one.
So somebody got another question? Any questions on the comment board?
God, bring out the questions, man.
Any questions Israel got? I don't think it's on there. We can see that.
I got asked a question for time's sake, but.
Do any brother got any questions?
I got
Oh.
asked for time's sake.
Oh yeah, we good. So with that, we just gonna go ahead and close out. Come on. So, Kwame Yasha.